there. I saw that you asked a great question about fractions, so I thought I would jump in and help you out a little bit. So you wrote, if Matthew runs 2/3 of a mile 3 times a week, how many miles would he run in 2 weeks? I created a table to see if that might help us figure this out. I put in a half mile here. Now I know your question was different. It was about 2/3 of a mile. So I don't want to give away the answer, but I do want to show you how you would answer it. So we're going to pretend this is a different question. Let's say it's about Sarah, who runs a half a mile 3 times a week. So a table can be a really good strategy for something like this if you're stuck about how to answer it. So I made a table for week 1 and week 2. And I showed that this person is running 1, 2, and 3 times each week. And we need to figure out what the total is. There are 2 different ways we could find the total. One is to add, which would be 1/2. Whoops. Hope you can read my 2 there. Plus 1/2 plus 1/2. There we go. The other way would be to multiply 1/2 times 3. It all depends on what you are most comfortable with and what your class has reviewed so far at this point in the school year. Both methods will get you to the same answer, which is going to be 3/2, which if we simplify will be 1 and 1/2. So 1 and 1/2 miles in each week. So we can go ahead and put that into our table, and I'm just going to change colors so that you can see that in the bottom here. So for each week, we have 1 and 1/2. All right, so week 1 is 1.5 miles, and week 2 is 1 and 1/2 miles. And I don't know about your teacher, but I'm a pretty picky teacher. I always like to see units next to answers. So let's put miles there, and let's put miles here. All right, so if we go back to our original question, it's asking how many miles would he run in 2 weeks? So we go back to our example here, which is slightly different. It's about Sarah, who's running a different amount. In 2 weeks, she would run 1.5 miles plus 1.5 miles. So if we add that together, it's 1 and 1/2 plus 1 and 1/2. There are a couple different methods we could use to find the sum of these numbers. What I prefer is to add our whole numbers first. So that gives me a sum of 2 for my whole numbers. And then to add my fractions, 1/2 plus 1/2 is a whole. So that's 2 plus 1. So my final sum here is going to be 3. And I can't forget my units. This is 3 miles. So that's my final answer. So again, make a table, find your total for 1 week, and remember that you'll double that to find the total for 2 weeks. You've got this. Wishing you luck solving this problem.